reversing course, now calling on House Republicans to support the release of the Jeffrey Epstein case files. He could just release them, I think.
I think so.
He made that request, which is a sudden reversal from his previous position on social media last night, writing that Republicans should vote to release the files because, quote, we have nothing to hide. And it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetrated by the radical left lunatics. This change from the president comes ahead of tomorrow's expected vote on the House floor aimed at forcing the Justice Department to release all of the files. To become law, it would still need to pass the Senate and be signed by President Trump himself, which is why I wonder he just doesn't ask Pam Bondi to release them. This turnaround from Trump notably follows a failed pressure campaign to sway Republican lawmakers against pursuing the release of the files.
Kashmir, you followed, just like John Lemire, you followed the Trump administration very closely, first term and now in this second term. We've had talks along the way, and you talked about how this second term began with an extraordinarily prepared White House. And we've compared it to when our party went in with a contract with America. 100 days, we had it all planned out. We rolled over the Democrats. They were helpless to stop anything. 101st day, Newt looks around, and we're like, well, okay, what do we do now? Wonder, are there any parallels with this White House right now, 10 months in?
So, look, I think that they had 4 years to intellectually, emotionally get themselves ready to come back into power. And I don't think there's any arguing that when they came back with an umph and a force that certainly I have never seen, and I think exceeded what they had done before. And
I mean, you told me these people are, this is almost like three-dimensional chess. These people have thought through everything on the law firms, the colleges. They had it all down.
It's very easy to sit and prepare and say, this is what we're going to do and follow that execution plan. But as Mike Tyson said, once you get punched in the face, something changes. And what they really struggled with in the first term is that they had no planning going in, and they couldn't think on their feet. They couldn't move around on the battlefield and do sophisticated things as they confronted different variables and situations. A running start helps you in a race, but it doesn't help you win the race. Eventually, other folks catch up with you. You may actually win the race because you had a head start, but ultimately you have to be able to think on your feet.
Right.
And they're showing the same inability to think on their feet that they did in the first term.
Yeah,
in some ways it's similar, but they did have an incredible head start.
Incredible head start, and I don't want to overstate where we are right now. Donald Trump, you can respond to this, react to this, everything will be fine, everybody will apologize. That is a very real possibility. I will say, though, that one of the things that frustrated me so much is how Democrats were always being shocked. Mm-hmm. Always, oh, this is so shocking. Oh my God. Oh, I can't believe it. And it's like, after 1,000 days, you can't believe he did this?
Exactly.
What is so shocking to you? He's going to do something more shocking tomorrow. I don't want to overstate it because it's only social media, but I will tell you, sort of the first Democrat to kind of pop that balloon was Gavin Newsom. Mm-hmm. And when he started mocking Donald Trump's approach to social media, which was at the heart of Donald Trump's attacks, and he parodied it in ways that sometimes were better and funnier than Donald Trump, you're like, all of a sudden you're like, oh wait,
right.
Maybe the Democrats have finally figured out how to not be shocked and start pushing back. And I think that's the case, like across the spectrum.
A magnificent use of the caps lock key from Governor Newsom there. There's no question Democrats have found their footing a little bit here in response, and we saw the results in the elections just 2 weeks ago. And to Michael's point, that's how I've been thinking about this last week or so as well. This is the first moment of Trump's second term that reminds me of his first. that it is more chaotic. It's sloppy. There's more. The infighting has started. There's finger pointing inside the building. Something that wasn't happening in those first 6, 7 months or so of this time around. And we've seen the results also suffer, Claire. And that's just it. We're in the last 72 hours, pretty remarkable reversals from President Trump, who this term has been just, I'm a bulldozer, in some cases, literally. I'm a bulldozer. I'm going to roll through things and get what I want. In the last 72 hours, he's had reversals on tariffs, and now this reversal on Jeffrey Epstein, which is because he was going to lose. Republicans are going to defy him, and it wasn't just going to be by 4 votes. It was going to be by a lot.
It was going to be by a lot. And, you know, by the way, that's not shocking to me that he reversed. When he knows he's going to get his you-know-what kicked, I'll climb on the other side and take credit for it. This is a classic Trump move. But one thing that he keeps doing, and this is what's really amazing to me, he keeps throwing the Republicans in Congress under the bus time and time again. He's had them out there defending not releasing these files. By the way, every Republican senator voted no on releasing the Epstein files months ago, except for 2. There were 2 Republicans, Rand Paul and Josh Hawley. They were the only 2 that voted with the Democrats to release the Epstein files in the Senate. Now, here they are in a situation where they've gone on record against doing this. And now he is saying, oh, yeah, of course, we have nothing to hide. So this is leaving a very bad taste in the mouths of a whole lot of people over there that continually do what he tells them to do at their own political peril.
You know.